campaign trail, told to stay home after this.
You could see there was blood coming out of her eyes.
Was what he said next an attack on women? The backlash coming in. The packed jet, the shattered cockpit windows, the hailstorm so fierce pilots couldn't see.
We're having a hard time here.
How they finally made that daring emergency landing. An intruder inside the house, 2 girls home alone.
No, there's no phone out there. She doesn't have no phone, and she's completely freaking out.
The app that came to the rescue. And soaring to new heights, the daredevil going for the record. So what is the secret to learning to fly?
From ABC News World Headquarters, this is ABC World News Tonight.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Cecilia Vega. We begin tonight with Donald Trump, told today he has finally gone too far. The Donald disinvited from a campaign appearance, ordered to stay home. And now tonight he is facing a tsunami of criticism for an escalating series of attacks on debate moderator Megyn Kelly.
Well, I just don't respect her as a journalist. I don't think she's very good. I think she's highly overrated.
And with that, he was just getting started. Tonight, Trump not backing down despite the outrage and complaints that it appears he is going after all women. Let's get right to our Devin Dwyer with more on the comments at the center of this firestorm.
Tonight, Donald Trump upping the ante, intensifying attacks on Fox's Megyn Kelly.
She starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions, and you know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
Apparent payback in an interview with CNN tonight for tough questions at Thursday's Republican debate.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs.
Trump's latest comments are triggering new outrage, some believing he was referring to female hormones.
He's not invited. I'm sorry.
The backlash was swift, a conservative summit in Atlanta dumping Trump from the lineup.
It's really weak and pathetic to take a tough question from a journalist and assume she's having her period, and that's why she asked you a tough question.
Trump has tried to clarify, tweeting, "You could see blood coming out of her wherever," nose. Later adding, "Political correctness is killing our country, weakness." Some conservative women at the very event he was banned from aren't buying it.
I found his comments to be degrading and unpresidential.
Disrespectful to not only Megyn Kelly, but just to women in general.
Trump's rivals, who have been timid to attack, now piling on the frontrunner too.
Come on, do we want to insult 53% of all voters? What Donald Trump said is wrong. That is not how we win elections, and Mr. Trump ought to apologize.
Carly Fiorina, the only Republican woman in the race, tweeting, "There is no excuse. I stand with Megyn Kelly." So far, Trump not apologizing. And late word tonight of a shakeup within the Trump campaign. ABC News has learned a longtime Trump political advisor is leaving the team. Meanwhile, the Republican Party, which had asked Trump to tone down his rhetoric, tonight saying the frontrunner needs to be more careful about how his words are perceived. Cecilia?
Okay, Devin, thanks. Let's take another look at that statistic. In the last presidential election in 2012, women made up 53% of all voters. That's the largest group of voters in this country. And I want to bring in ABC News political analyst Matt Dowd now. So let's talk about Trump. Is he a liability for Republicans at a time when this party really needs to win female voters?
So far, the statements Trump has made has been much more about him and a negative reflection about him. But the party is very worried that over time this will become a problem and a reflection of the party as a whole. And at a time when they need to do much better among female voters to win a presidential race, this is bad news for them.
And Matt, thank you. Donald Trump will be interviewed live on This Week with George. Matt Dowd will be there too. That is on This Week tomorrow morning. But we do move on now to that hailstorm forcing a packed jet to land. The storm so fierce pilots couldn't even see. Take a look at these cockpit windows shattered. The nose of the plane dented too. Passengers inside that cabin shaken as the storm raged outside. Here's ABC's Mary Bruce.
It's a nightmare scenario. A plane caught in a dangerous storm and the pilots flying blind.
We're having a hard time here.
Baseball-size hail pounding this packed Delta jet, pushing in the nose, cracking the outer windshield, making it impossible for the pilots to see clearly.
Our windshield is pretty severely damaged.
On board, passengers rattled and terrified, frantically texting loved ones.
Very loud clattering, as if you were in an oil can and, somebody was dumping gravel on it.
The Airbus A320 was traveling from Boston to Salt Lake City when it hit this. You can see the gap closing between these two storms. In a disturbing twist, passengers monitoring the storm on their iPads tell us they saw these images. But the experts say pilots may not have received the information as quickly. The FAA restricts internet access in cockpits because of security concerns about hacking.
The people in back who are using the Wi-Fi to look at the radar display may have a better idea of the weather ahead than the pilots in the cockpit.
Probably going to do an auto land here.
The plane ultimately made an automatic landing and touched down safely in Denver. Despite the terrifying situation, just one person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. And experts say this played out exactly as it should, with the onboard technology kicking in to help the plane land safely. Cecilia?
Good to hear, Mary Bruce. Thank you. The severe weather that battered that plane also moving across Colorado at the time. Take a look at the heavy rain and hail falling in the northern part of that state. And there in Utah, dark storm clouds in the skies above the Salt Lake Valley. That severe weather is on the move tonight, targeting parts of the Central Plains and the Mississippi Valley. But the most damaging storm on the planet tonight, Tropical Storm Wjla, battering China at this hour. It slammed into Taiwan with winds upwards of 120 miles an hour, killing at least 6 people so far and leaving behind a trail of devastation. And that's where we find ABC's Neil Karlinski tonight.
Tonight, Taipei's streets are an obstacle course. Thousands of fallen trees and streetlights. Twisted pieces of sheet metal are everywhere. The winds, dangerous.
Okay, bad place to be. Let's move on down. Here, about a half dozen homes have been evacuated because they're worried about mudslides.
Typhoon Wjla blasted across Taiwan with 120-mile-per-hour winds and sheets of rain, 2 to as much as 4 feet in some areas. So powerful, we had trouble trying to capture the typhoon's force on camera.
Likely getting hammered.
3 million homes were without power for a time. By midday, several people had to be rescued from homes cut off by flash flooding. A family of 7 had to be rescued from these vehicles while trying to escape, trapped by mudslides. The storm now battering southeastern China. ABC's Bob Woodruff is there.
Trying to see if there's anybody inside of these cars, but you can see all of these streets are completely flooded.
In Taiwan, they're still assessing the scope of the damage that has so far left at least 6 dead and 100 injured. Neil Karlinski, ABC News, Taipei.
Our thanks to both Neil and Bob. Back here at home, we turn to Yellowstone National Park. Officials tonight confirming a deadly grizzly bear attack. A hiker believed to be killed by an adult female grizzly. Authorities say the man lived and worked in Yellowstone for 5 seasons. The area of that attack tonight remains closed off. And an update to a story we brought you last night. Toxic sludge spilling into a river in Colorado. Authorities now say the contamination from an abandoned gold mine stretches into New Mexico and is now approaching Utah. About 1 million gallons of wastewater containing lead and arsenic has turned that river there a bright yellow. The EPA taking responsibility, saying one of its cleanup teams accidentally caused the spill while excavating the entrance to the mine. Next to a health scare here in New York City, teams of inspectors fanning out on rooftops today searching for traces of Legionnaire's disease in cooling towers. Since yesterday, 1 more person coming down with that disease. ABC's Philip Mena reporting in from the Bronx.
More than 200 health workers methodically testing buildings for a dangerous bacteria that sparked the city's deadliest outbreak of Legionnaire's disease.
We've lost 10 people in the midst of this outbreak, and our hearts go out to their families.
The mayor now saying 108 people have been infected since the outbreak began last month, but also says the outbreak is tapering off.
Some of the cooling towers that have been sampled in New York City have tested positive for Legionella, but not all of them have been tested.
Officials testing for signs of Legionella bacteria, which when inhaled can cause Legionnaire's disease, a severe form of pneumonia. Health officials point out that the disease is not contagious and has only killed those with already compromised immune systems. Although no new cases have been reported in the last 4 days, Mayor de Blasio says state and city health workers are rushing to identify any more potentially hazardous buildings.
So we've really had to, from scratch, figure out where they are, then get to them, then sample and inspect them, then disinfect it.
Cecilia, the cooling tower atop this hospital in the Bronx is just one of 57 tested today. And Mayor de Blasio says he hopes to have the rest of the cooling towers in the danger zone tested by tomorrow. Cecilia?
Philip, thank you. And we turn to Ferguson, Missouri now, where tomorrow marks the one-year anniversary of the death of Michael Brown. Today, Brown's father leading a march through the streets, his son's death by a white police officer sparking nationwide protests. Some supporters tonight saying that while those protests were costly and destructive, reform would never have happened without them. Next, if you've purchased an airline ticket lately, you know the fare is not the only thing you're paying for. There are more fees than ever, from choosing a seat to changing a ticket, checking a bag, even carrying one on. But now some lawmakers are saying enough. Here's ABC's Aditi Roy.
A call for a major government crackdown on airlines for those added fees to ticket prices. A recent report released by the minority staff of the Senate Commerce Committee claims fees like checking baggage, change, or cancellation charges are often hidden, confusing, and unfair. According to the report, between 2009 and 2014, 3 carriers increased baggage fees by 67%. 4 carriers increased domestic cancellation fees from $150 to $200, or 33%. And preferred seating is one of the fee categories in which airlines offer the least transparency.
Sometimes this, I think, is very tricky. The airlines will make it seem like the only seats available are the upgraded seats, so you end up paying extra when you really don't actually need to.
Experts say customers can protect themselves by reading the fine print.
As you're going through the process to buy the ticket, look for all the fees that are associated with it. And this should be pretty easy. Make sure that you've added them all up before you get to the final, click to submit button. And if it seems more expensive, go back and compare again and look at other airlines before you actually buy that ticket.
The airline industry is fighting back, saying it would be difficult to find an industry that is more transparent than airlines in their pricing. The report recommends to make it more clear that preferred seats are optional, limit change fees, and refund bag charges for flights delayed more than 6 hours. Cecilia?
Okay, Aditi, thank you. We turn next to a bizarre twist in a cold case. The FBI identifying 2 suspects in the largest art heist in American history. The trouble is, the men are dead. And now the focus is who has the art that they stole. Here's ABC's Ron Claiborne.
Tonight, the FBI is saying this video could provide a major break in the biggest art heist ever. Investigators releasing this 25-year-old video for the first time and asking the public to help identify this man, seen here in a security room at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. The night before, 2 thieves stole 13 pieces of art valued at $500 million.
We're thinking if we could find out who was involved, who did it, they might be able to lead us to where that art is.
The 2 thieves, dressed in what looked like police uniforms, gained admittance to the museum at 1:15 in the morning, saying they were investigating a disturbance in the area.
The FBI says it now believes those 2 died several years ago. What they want to know now is who this man was. They call him an unauthorized visitor. He entered the museum through the same door that the thieves used the next day, but left in a car that night, seen on a second surveillance video. Still missing today, a 3,000-year-old Chinese vase and 12 paintings, including works by Rembrandt, Monet, Degas, and Vermeer.
The theft from the Gardner Museum is of international importance. It's probably the largest art theft in modern times.
One theory, members of a team of thieves did a test run the night before. The museum is offering a $5 million reward for information that leads to the recovery of these works of art. It is hoping that making this video public will help. Ron Claiborne, ABC News, New York.
We have much more ahead on World News Tonight. Coming up next, home invasion, 2 girls, 1 burglar, no parent, and no phone in the house. The device they used to tap their way to help and to catch the bad guy. And the facelift coming to a Target near you. How changing times are forcing the change in the look of the kids section.
ABC World News Tonight, brought to you by Cialis.
When a moment spontaneously turns romantic, why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? Cialis for daily use is the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. Insurance coverage has expanded nationally, and you may now be covered. Contact your health plan for the latest information.
Most cell phone companies have one big plan they think fits everyone. But Consumer Cellular thinks your plan should fit you, so you'll never pay for more than you need. How much talk, text, and web use is just right? You name it. But we'll never put your name on a contract. Plans start at just $10 a month. Get free activation, a $35 value, and shipping is free. And Consumer Cellular has been an AARP provider since 2008. Members get special discounts. Call, go online, or stop by Target or Sears and start your risk-free trial today.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Heart health's important. So you may take an omega-3 supplement, but it's the ingredients inside that really matter for heart health. New Bear Pro Ultra Omega-3 has 2 times the concentration of EPA and DHA as a leading omega-3 supplement. New Bear Pro Ultra Omega-3.
Next to a terrifying day at home alone for 2 sisters, a burglar breaking in while their dad was at work, but they couldn't call for help because they didn't have a phone. So what did they do? Here's ABC's Matt Gutman.
The intruder had forced his way into the little house in Fresno, California.
My friend's daughters are there, and someone just broke into the house. They're by themselves.